Hello all. Today we have a new scenario. Today we have an environment having Windows Server 2008 as a Active Directory domain controller, 2008 R2. But in this domain controller we have the functional level as 2003. Domain functional level, it's Windows Server 2003. Okay, we need to upgrade this Active Directory 2009 to Windows Server 2019. We have an additional domain controller. We have an additional domain controller 2008 R2. We have also we have another server 2019, Windows Server 2019. It is joined to the domain. The domain is az.com, and as you can see here, we have tried to promote this server as a domain controller. Okay, it will say verification of replica failed. The forest functional level is not supported. Okay, so in the first step, we need to uh, upgrade the domain functional level and the forest functional level for this server to be promoted as a domain controller. So we cancel the setup. We go. Let's raise the domain functional level to 2008 as a first step. Okay, now you go to domains and trusts. Right click here, raise forest functional level. Okay, it's Windows Server 2003. Let's make it 2008. Okay, we go back to the Windows Server 2019 and try again. Okay, verification of replica failed. The specified domain az.com is still using the file replication service FRS. So when you are using the FRS, you will not be able to add an additional domain controller of Windows Server 2019 to a forest of older versions. Let's say it started from 2003 or 2008. So we need to change this FRS file replication service to Dfsr. You must migrate the specified domain to use DFS replication, Dfsr, using the Dfsrmig command before continue. So now we need to work on the primary domain controller to change this FRS to Dfsr using some commands, and after we will be able to join this server. Okay. We have three types of migration. The quick migration, where you don't know if your domain controllers are healthy and you want a rollback option. Express migration, where you are sure that your domain controllers are healthy and you want a rollback option. And hyper migration, where you want to migrate with the minimum steps and are confident of domain controller health. Well, I recommend the quick migration. I know my environment is new and it's healthy, but I always use the quick migration. maybe the domain controllers are, let's say, missing something or not syncing properly, or any issues on the domain controllers. The quick migration is formed of 3 steps. We will pass by them step by step, and they will be very clear. Also, the commands will be, as I said, the commands will be attached to the video on a link, so you can use them clearly. Starting with the migration, you go to the command prompt, run as admin. This is the first command on the primary domain controller. Okay, current DFSR global state start, new DFS global state prepared. Migration will proceed to prepared state. DFSR will copy the content of sysvol to sysvol DFSR. Okay, now we started first step from start to prepared. Okay, to check the get migration state. Okay, this step or every step needs around 5 to 10 minutes, and you can check the health of the state or the percentage of it, so it can be consistent. Here you will get migration has not reached yes a consistent state. We will wait for 5 minutes and see what we will get. Okay, after waiting for more time, now we have all domain controllers have migrated successfully to global state prepared. Okay, the first state has finished. Now we go to the second state. Okay, migration will proceed to redirected state. Also, we need to wait more time, and we need to check the migration state for every 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Please keep in mind that if you have more than let's say 5 to 6 additional domain controls, it may take more time than usual. So it needs time. You run this command, and all domain controllers have migrated successfully to the global state redirected. Now we move to the last step. Okay, that redirected to eliminated. It's not possible to revert this step. As you can see, keep in mind this state cannot be reverted. So the other steps can be reverted. If you were stuck in any step, let's say redirected, or the first step didn't work on all the domain controls, they can be reverted. But when you reach this this state, you cannot go back. As you can see here, if any RODC is stuck in the eliminated state for too long, then run the option delete raw anti-FRS members. Okay, as you may see here, all domain controllers have migrated successfully to global state eliminated. Now we are able to promote the 2019 server. First, whether determining whether the third server is already a domain controller. We need to restart it. I think role change progress needs to be restarted. Okay, we need to restart. server 2019 is started. We'll try to promote it. Okay. We did not receive the folder error. It saw the two domain controllers. And now for the prerequisites, and we will start the installation. And hence will be this. This will be the additional domain controller. In the next step, after the server is promoted, we will move the FSMO roles to this domain controller and make it as a primary. Usually Microsoft does not recommend that one server holds the 5 roles, but I think it's better for the primary DC to hold all the 5 roles, and you have enough additional domain controllers in your site. Usually this setup takes around 5 minutes also, according to the network bandwidth between the domain controllers. Okay, it has worked. Now it will start. Okay, we'll go back when the server is started. Okay, now Windows Server 2019 is up, and we'll move the roles to this domain controller. As you can see, the roles are on the DC 2008 r2.az.com. Well, we have 3 different ways to move the roles. I prefer using the graphical user interface, the GUI. You can use CMD, you can use the PowerShell. Okay. First, you go Active Directory users and computers. You right click on the domain, operations masters. As you can see here, we can move the role. Are you sure you transfer? Yes. Okay. For the PDC also. Are you sure? And for the infrastructure. Okay. Now three rows are moved. We go to the domains and trust. If you didn't see here the ADDC, you go back to change Active Directory domain controller. Let's say we will show it as if it may appear. We are trying to move the role. You may see here the same name. So you go back, you change domain controller for the one you want to move the role to. You go to operations master. Now we can see the second name. Change, yes. Okay, now it's done. We have the last role, which is the schema master here. I put all the commands you need to use. You need to register the schema management DLL. Go to CMD. Okay, now it's registered. Start, run, mmc.exe, file, add snap-in. You choose the schema, Active Directory schema. Okay. Also, now it's connected to 2019. Change. Okay. Now we check again for the roles. Move to the ADDC 2019. Now successfully we migrated all the roles. Okay, we will start with ADDC 2008 R2. Run Dfsrmig.exe. Okay, next. 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 Put the domain admin. Okay. Now when it finishes, your additional domain controller will be demoted. As you can see, after the setup finishes, we go again to the primary domain controller and we can see that the other 2008 domain controller has disappeared. You go to the sites here. Okay, if you see it here, you can delete. And you can move on to also demote this server as the steps for the first one we demoted. Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon with another good video for you.